Hey guys, JacksTreasures here.
Hey guys, JacksTreasures here. All right, you start that one. Go ahead.
Hey guys, JacksTreasures here.
With another Q&A with Jack.
Yes.
I'm Brian.
I'm Tracy.
And that is Jack.
That is Jack.
And we are JacksTreasures.
We're here to answer reseller-related questions that you may have as a new reseller or even an old reseller.
Mm-hmm.
Just questions that occasionally come up that we figure we can do our part to help answer.
Yeah.
And share
we've actually asked these questions, especially me.
Yes.
I've asked these questions a lot at certain times. So today's question that we are doing is, what does OOAK mean?
OOAK.
OOAK.
OOAK. Yeah, however you want to pronounce it.
Mean?
But OOAK mean.
Yeah. So?
Put simply, the, what is that called? Acronym for it. OOAK stands for one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
That would be an item that is 100% unique. It is not made in a factory. Well, I guess it could be made in a factory, actually, but it in some way is completely unique.
It is one of a kind.
Yes.
So OOAKs, that is a very, very good term to use when you're doing listings. To have that in the title, to have the word OOAK in the title is a really, really good thing to do.
OOAK, but
okay.
Put down in the comments how you pronounce OOAK.
Now, how are they going to put that in the comments?
Well, they can phoneticize it. OOAK.
OOAK.
Okay, there's not an A at the end. It's not OOAK.
Oak.
Yes. OOAK.
Okay. So what it means is one of a kind.
Yes.
Okay. Examples of stuff that are OOAK are things like if you took this shirt right here, which is a Disney shirt, okay, and we tie-dye it, okay, that becomes an OOAK, all right? It's a one-of-a-kind shirt because it was tie-dyed by Tracy to become a one-of-a-kind item. Generally, handmade items are OOAK items.
I just looked around and I saw something that actually fits this.
Yeah, it is a one-of-a-kind item. Now, if I made 5 of those shirts, if I took 5 of these shirts and I tie-dyed them, okay, that would not, you can get it closer.
This is a handmade doll, and the information up top says that it was 100% handmade. And even though they may have made similar ones, they're all going to be slightly different. So that is an OOAK.
Okay. But if you tie-dyed all of the shirts and the tie-dye comes out a little bit different on each one of those shirts is an OOAK.
Yes.
Okay, it is one of a kind. Now, if I tie-dyed all of the shirts and they all came out the same way, that's not an OOAK.
No.
Okay? Because it's not one of a kind. It would be rare, but it would not be an OOAK. If I hand-painted an item, that would be an OOAK. Okay? An OOAK.
Right.
Okay. One of a kind item.
Well, why would you want to use this title? Why would you use that in your title?
Well, one of the things is because a lot of people want one of a kind items. They don't want to have something that is, there's a million of them out there. Generally, you definitely want to do it if it's something that's handmade, that you made on your own, that you carved on your own, that you painted on your own, or anything like that. You definitely want to use that word so that the person who buys it knows they are getting something that nobody else owns.
Right.
It adds to that value of that item by saying nobody else can own this because it's one of a kind.
Right. So you definitely, that's something good to put in like an eBay, a whatnot title or whatever, because people will search for that.
And they usually will search OOAK.
Unlike the word rare. People don't ever look up rare.
Not normally.
Not usually.
Not normally.
I'm not going to look up rare Mickey Mouse, but I might look up OOAK Mickey Mouse.
Right. And you want to use the acronym for that too, because when you do that, it makes it, they don't put one of a kind.
Right.
Because you only have 80 characters that you could put in a title. So a lot of acronyms appear in on eBay on the title
We'll
list.
try to
So
cover some more of those
OOAK.
in the future.
Yeah, using titles and stuff like that. That would be a future comment. By the way, if anybody has any other comments that they want to make on the video of stuff that we talk about, because again, these are things that are our opinions.
Yes.
Okay. So don't take these as all the gospel truth, that, oh, this is 100% correct. No, this is just our experience and our opinions on what these things are and how they're useful. And if you have any comments that make them useful, please make sure you put them in the comments down below so we can address them. And it would help us out and help out anybody else. And if you have any questions that you want Jack's Treasures to go ahead and look forward to, make sure that you mention those in the comments too.
And along that line, don't overuse the term OOAK just to use it. Like, I'm not going to put this shirt as it is up on eBay and call it an OOAK just because I dropped a little bit of egg there this morning and it now has a grease stain on it. We're not going to do that. Because that dilutes the meaning behind the word from someone who may actually want to find that item. And that sucks.
Right.
Don't screw things up for other people.
Also, if you hand carve something, okay, and you hand carve 5 things that are all very similar, but there's a little bit of difference in each one, don't put it down as an OOAK. Because they all are the same, except for one little difference in them.
Like you're trying to make the exact same bird. But now, if you did each bird and you're not doing any other birds like that, go for it. That is OOAK all day.
She is like having fun with the OOAK and her little
OOAK.
rhyming thing going on and her OOAK. Okay. So yeah, definitely be careful with using OOAK because one, if you don't know if something is one of a kind, don't use the term.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because you did a search, you comped this out, and you did a search for an item and stuff like that, like this right here. All right. I looked this up on eBay and I didn't find any of the Mont Blanc presents and stuff like that. So this is an OOAK. No. Be sure that the item is an OOAK before you be sure it is an one-of-a-kind item before you use the term one-of-a-kind item. Now,
dupes.
Be very careful with dupes. Okay. First off, what's a dupe?
A dupe is a product that is meant to look like something else, but it's not actually advertising itself as such. For example, the Lululemon has their little chest bags that are Lululemon bags, and they say Lululemon on them, and everybody knows those. Some companies will make a bag that is meant to look like it, but it doesn't say Lululemon. It's just the same style bag. That's a dupe.
It'll say Lulu Lime.
Well, not even that. But
that would be a dupe.
It might. We're going to say it just says nothing in my example.
Okay.
And it says nothing, but don't just call that an OOAK. I see that for some reason. People like to throw that in the dupes. And
it's a dupe. It's one of a kind. No, it's a dupe.
There's a million of them. But dupes, in most cases, when they're done correctly, are fine. As long as they're not pretending to be the real brand. But
and also be really, really careful with counterfeits, calling a one-of-a-kind item. And that one-of-a-kind item, it's a one-of-a-kind item because it's a counterfeit of a regular item. No. Okay? You can't call a one-of-a-kind item that's a counterfeit item. A counterfeit item is a counterfeit item. It is illegal. Do not sell it. I highly recommend don't even trying to sell it. Don't even try to sell it as a counterfeit. Don't even say, well, this is a real item. Or it's not a real item.
Take this set of push pins here and paint a picture of the girls from Frozen on it and call it a Frozen OOAK thing because I don't have the rights to paint Frozen on here.
Right.
So
you got to be very, very careful with dupes and counterfeits as a OOAK.
But when OOAK is best used is usually for handmade items like some of our friends that do the crafting, they make soaps, they crochet. Oh,
we got to do a shout out. Here's going to be one of our shout out. We're doing a shout out right here to Leslie at a reworker's passion. She does soaps. She does hand crochets. She crochets her hats. She crochets her outfits.
And her stuff is
beautiful. And it is OOAK. Yes. And the big thing with that is because of that, what you have to do when you're doing your pricing is you have to figure out what is your time worth that you put into that item when you are selling it. So OOKs, you want to use that term, one of a kind, because it'll boost up the amount of people the value of that item. Okay, now if you are going to sit here and hand knit the same item over and over again, or hand make the same soaps as the same, then that's not an OOK, even though it is a handmade item.
Right.
Okay, but you do that as as a handmade item, which is still good and fine to do. But an OOK is definitely one of a kind. So you've made this one of a kind type soap. Maybe it's the first one. It was the first one that you wanted to do, and you changed something in it. Well, that first one is still one of a kind. Even though it's similar to the other ones, it's still one of a kind because you changed a part of it. Candle makers, same thing. People that make candles, wax candles and things like that. Soap. Some people tie-dye shirts or even make their own clothes. My brother's wife, she makes her own clothes. Those are one-of-a-kind clothes. Even if she's making them from a pattern,
her choice in
cloth, colors,
finishing,
all of that types of thing makes it an OOK. Okay.
But that's basically all we have to talk about today on OOAK. If you have any comments about what that means to you, if you didn't know what it meant, drop us a note, because this was a fairly new word to us.
Yeah, especially to me.
To kind of go into our vocabulary. But we thank you for coming and watching our video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and come back next time for more reseller questions from Jack's Treasures.
Yes. Peace out.
Bye.